And finally, this man, Matthew Lasko. Now, you've probably seen him on television hustling books that promise free money.
Make $1 million in foreclosed property. This money's for people with bad credit to millionaires.
Is Matt Lasko a phony who's misleading the public? Well, that is what officials at the New York State Consumer Protection Board say.
And they're calling me a liar, which is a baseless claim. And that's why I'm here today, to try to set this record straight.
We'll find out the truth in the next hour of Lie Detector. Next, Matthew Lasko. Now, he has made a fortune selling books telling ordinary folks how to get free government money.
How am I going to tell everyone that the government has over 4,000 programs for real estate worth $250 billion?
Free money? Can this possibly be true?
And they're calling me a liar, which is a baseless claim on reports that, it just make no sense to me.
Find out when Lie Detector returns. Welcome back to Lie Detector, everybody. If you're a fan of late-night infomercials, then you are definitely familiar with our next guest, Matthew Lasko. Oh, you've seen his books advertised virtually everywhere, telling you that there's free government money out there just for you. And now, dressed in that funny-looking suit, you may not take Lasko very seriously. And the Consumer Protection Board of New York State says you should not. They say that Matthew's claims that there is a federal government pot of gold are misleading, and that Matthew Lasko is a liar. Matthew Lasko is a sort of real-life caped crusader bent on helping the financially less fortunate. In over 25 years, Lasko has written 70 books, was a guest on dozens of talk shows, and appeared in countless infomercials, all with the aim of educating the public on ways to get rich.
I'll show you how to get $1 million.
His books and DVDs are designed to show average folk that the government, in Matthew's words, is giving away free money to send you to college, start a business, find a job, pay your bills, or even help you buy a home.
I can show you down payment money, closing cost money, and cash to buy the house of your dreams.
Sound too good to be true? Well, that's what New York's Consumer Protection Board wants you to think. They're accusing Matthew of misleading the public, that his claims of a pot of federal gold are all false and only serve to take advantage of those desperate for help. Still, Matthew is standing his ground and hopes the lie detector will clear him to continue spreading what he calls the good word.
Pay your bills and get out of debt forever!
Matthew, you come to us today being accused of misleading the public. You say that the government has tons of money that's available to us all, but there are some folks who are concerned that you're maybe not be telling the truth.
Yes, it's the Consumer Protection Board in New York State, and they're calling me a liar, which is a baseless claim on reports that, just make no sense to me, and that's why I'm here today, to try to set this record straight.
Why would they be against you? I mean, because you have written 70 books. You've covered everything about how to write and get a grant, how to get free money to pay your bills, how to get cash to quit your job, how to get money for a better home. Who wouldn't want that information?
I believe, and I'm biased, so you can't trust me. Anybody try to sell you something, which I sell books. But these are real programs, and that's what I spent a lifetime doing for 25 years or more. What my job has been is going to the government and finding these programs and letting people know about them.
But I can't understand that if you are writing books and
Yes.
you're helping people find
Yes.
money that you
Yes.
say is available to us all,
Yes.
why would the Consumer Protection Board be against something like that?
They were investigating boiler room scam people who call you up at dinner time and get money from you and they're promising you grants, and I do nothing like that at all. I just sell books. If you don't like the books, just send them back. So these boiler room people are ripping people off. So they were doing a report, about these bad companies. So to get noticed about the report, what they said is that what I do encourages these people. And they believe that I'm lying about what I do. So because I'm lying, that encourages these other companies to rip consumers off.
They say that your information is worthless. They say that you've exaggerated information. They say you're creating myths, which are allowing people like telemarketers to take advantage of people, especially people in great need of help. And they say that this pot of federal gold that you're talking about doesn't exist. They're saying you're a fraud.
Yeah, I know, and it hurts, but who it's hurting more is really the people who can't get help. Because there's actually, I mean, I have the data now that I'm trying to show people, even whether you use my book or not, see, the programs are out there. You know, there's no magic to these things. It takes effort, and that's what I do. You got one idiot like me who'll go around and, you know, get all these things in one place, but you can go out and find it yourself. But when you hear an official get up on and say, you know, these programs aren't available or whatever, there's 50 million people who could call today and get help, but they don't know. They don't know about the program, so they're not calling. You realize there's 10 million families who could call the government today, get up to $4,000 to pay their food bills, but they don't know about it. These are working families that have, you know, are eligible for this.
Now, come on, what's the small print here? I mean, most of your publications, I understand, really target women a great deal.
Yes.
So here's a woman who's in need. Can I get some of this money?
See, there's thousands and thousands of programs. Now, it depends on what you want to do. Say, if you need money for daycare, okay, now there's an income requirement for that. You know, it may go up to $30,000 a year or something like that. So if you're making over $30,000 a year, you may not be eligible for that program. But if you want to go back to school or something like that, you know, there's no income requirement. So you could get maybe $10,000 to go back and take a course in something.
Wow.
You know? And so that's why there's thousands of different programs that each have a different requirement. What's important about the whole picture is that only 12% of this money goes to the poor. People think that all government money programs are the poor, and that's not true. It's only 12%. So, and the Consumer Protection Board doesn't know much about government programs, so they have this idea in their head what reality should be, and they're wrong.
There's so many ironies, I guess you might say, in your fight here. Ironically, the Army has you coming in and talking to men and women coming back from war about some of the programs that can help them get back on their feet. But yet another wing of the government is telling you you're a fraud, that you're exaggerating. Shut up, you're not telling the right information.
It's amazing to me, and you know, I go over to Walter Reed for the wounded that are getting out of the service, being mustered out, and you know, with all kind of problems, you know, to show them about all the programs that are available. Not only Defense Department and Veterans Administration, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of other programs. And I do this because I think who deserves these programs more? And I mean, it's not just for military, these are programs for everybody, but I want these people who sacrificed limbs and things like that in wars for us, you know, to be aware of what this country has to offer, you know, back to them.
Why isn't the government telling them?
I know, they don't know. That's why we live in a complicated society. And this is what I really realized, that, geez, I know more than the government and all this.
Yeah. And if you weren't out there explaining these programs and leading in the right direction, who would be?
Exactly. And that's why I go over there. I've been over 3-4 times now in the last few months.
Do you ever feel like you're fighting this war by yourself?
I feel more like I'm in some Kafka novel. But it's a wonderful experience. You know, I mean, to me, the bad things in life that happen to you are the best things. We don't glorify failure. The bad and the failure, that's where you grow the most. I've grown the most over this thing than I have in maybe 20 years or something.
What's the greatest thing you've learned in all of this?
And then, but how good I am, how much stuff I really know. See, they brought it out of me. I didn't know I knew all this stuff. I didn't know how good I really was.
So you fought back with knowledge.
Exactly, and that's what I feel, and that's why I feel so confident, you know, in what I'm talking about.
You ready to face the lie detector?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, that's, like I say, that's not the important thing, whether I pass that or not. The important thing is that more people know about what's available for them, whether they buy my book or not.
And by the end of this hour, they're going to know if you're telling the truth. Right. So let's get you hooked up.
Okay.
Okay.
Be advised, Matt, any attempts at countermeasures will invalidate this test. Please remain still. The test is about to begin.
We always start with a neutral question.
Are you now sitting down?
Yes.
We ask a question with an obvious answer, just to help measure reactions to later questions.
Regarding your statement that there are billions of dollars that millions of consumers can apply for, do you intend to answer truthfully each question about that?
Yes.
Unrelated to this matter, did you ever give anyone reason to think you were a liar?
No.
A relevant question covers a single issue.
Are there billions of dollars that millions of consumers can apply for that they don't know about?
Yes.
We allow time between questions to ensure that we record all of the reactions.
Are there billions of dollars available from the government that millions of consumers can apply for that they don't know about?
Yes.
This test is over. Remain still for 10 seconds, please.
When we return, is Matthew Lasko a fraud? Is he making false claims of easy riches just to sell his books?
Matthew, the lie detector, has determined that you are.
We'll all know the truth when we return to Lie Detector.
Staff and guests of Lie Detector fly by Orbitz. Orbitz makes it easy to find your trip. The Orbitz Matrix shows more low fares than anyone. More hotels, more cars. Find more. Orbitz and go.
Welcome back to Lie Detector, everybody. Well, now is the moment of truth. Have we all been hustled by the free money guru Matthew Lasko? Or, as he says, do we live in a country where anything is possible? Matthew, you came on Lie Detector today to prove to everybody that you are not misleading the public as you've been accused of. We ask you the following relevant question. Are there billions of dollars available from the government that millions of consumers can apply for that they don't even know about? To which you answered yes. Matthew, the Lie Detector has determined that you are. You're telling the truth. The truth.
Why do you make it so long to say that?
You waited this long. You waited this long. What are you feeling inside? You've been vindicated.
It was nice. I mean, it's not about me, you know, this whole thing. It's about the country. Oops, I don't want to get there yet.
No, you can get emotional. This is the country we love, Matthew, and there's not a darn thing about shedding a tear.
Yeah.
You know, there are many who are shedding blood right now
exactly.
for our country. So I'm glad we have a show like this that can set the record straight.
I am too. Because the other media don't want to make any decision whatsoever.
Yeah, well, our Lie Detector makes decisions just like that.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being with us, Matthew, and good luck and continue the good work. Thank you.
I'm going to have fun.
Thank you.
Gonna have lots of fun.
I love that Matthew Lasko. He wears his heart on his sleeve. What an American. We're going to send this tape, by the way, to the New York State Consumer Protection Board, and maybe Matthew can continue to sell his version of the American dream without government interference. Now, if you know of somebody who might have a very compelling story to tell for the Lie Detector, come on and get hooked up by calling us at 1-866-4-POLYGRAPH. For those of you who like to communicate on the computer, visit us at liedetector.tv. I'm Rolonda Watts, and on behalf of Dr. Ed Gelb, join us next time on Lie Detector in our search for the truth.